Hey everyone, my name is Jamie and I'm here to talk today about how to contribute to schol development. So let's get started from the schol.js GitHub repo. And there is a contributing guide here. So as you can see in the repo, we just click on the contributing guide and it'll have some details. There's a couple of different things we can take a look at. So there's creating new templates. And the recommended way to create a new schol template is to basically clone and or fork the schol template default repository and just make whatever edits you need to that and then publish your template. So if we open that repo, it's got a demo version of that template rendered up and published to the web. It's got information on how to use it, so you can use it by initializing a new schol project and specifying the name of the template. And since this template is published to the npm repository, it will be downloaded by schol when it's initialized. You could also specify a path to a template package here, and we'll go over that. So if we're going to create a new template, let's just clone this repository to start. And it'll be created in schol template default. So let's just give that a new name. Let's call it schol template new. Oops. Okay, and let's edit away in here. So the source folder contains the starter document that will be copied over when a new schol project is initialized. So this is what your users will see, and this is what they'll edit. So suppose we want to actually, you know what? Let's even do better than template new. Let's change it to an assignment template, right? So right, Sublime Text is not nice about this. Try it again. There we go. And now we'll open Sublime again. So for an assignment, we often won't need an abstract, right? So let's delete that. Probably also won't need a subtitle. The title will probably usually default to something like, assignment 1. There will also often be, say, a course number, and maybe a course name, and perhaps an instructor, and perhaps the school, and that's probably good. So let's just fill out this information, course name. So those are some reasonable defaults for an assignment template. And this would probably be something like question 1. We can delete all this. We might still want our references section, so we'll leave that. And perhaps the question itself we want under a header. Something like this. Oops. So this is a reasonable, starting point for what we're trying to accomplish here. All right, so if we go back to the template GitHub repo, it gives us some more hints on what to do. Okay, so other things we'll need to do. We'll have to actually edit the template itself. So in this case, we changed a bunch of the metadata, and that metadata is used in the template for rendering. So in this case, for example, in the header, the title is rendered. We got rid of the subtitle, so we won't need that anymore, right? We would need a course number, course name, an instructor name, and a school. So how does that usually work? It usually looks something like assignment 1, probably the course name. So let's call this maybe the course name and the course number in brackets, say, right, or parentheses. We just don't want the authors there. What else? So course name, course number. The instructor name. And the institution or school. So this template, it's an embedded JavaScript template. So if you need to learn more about the syntax for this, just look up EJS, and you can learn whatever you need to about embedded JavaScript templates. So what else? School, right? Okay, so this might not be super pretty, but it should be functional. Okay, and then authors, let's leave that basically the same. Well, that basically covers all of our front matter metadata. Okay, we don't have an abstract anymore, so we can delete this section. And content, so that's good. Pretty straightforward. This is a relatively simple small change. And if we wanted to, this particular template predefines some styling for us. We could edit that if we want, but for the sake of this demo, let's just leave it as it is. Keep it simple. Okay, and let's see. Is there an easy way to test this? So we can test and develop this template by running the following within the directory. So let's do that. npm link. Oh, before we do that, that reminds me. We do need to update this before we do this. Basic assignment templates. We won't bother with updating all this, but we would also want to do that if we were going to publish this. This is just for demo purposes, though. Okay, so now that we've updated the package.json, that's required for linking properly. So let's link it. And now we need to make sure that this is available in the node modules folder here. And the way we do that is npm link schol template assignment. So link makes it available globally to npm to be linked, and this links it locally. So now you can see it's available locally here, and this just kind of recurses back onto this directory. Okay, so we've done that, and now we just run schol edit, and that'll allow us to see this live. All right. So we might want to, if we're really going to publish this and get serious about it, we might want to change, some of this so that it's a little bit closer together, not quite as big. Maybe make the author name bigger than the instructor name, or make it clear that this is the instructor's name, something like that, right? But the general idea here should be pretty straightforward. Obviously, this worked. We didn't get any errors, and it looks pretty good. So that's great. Next steps, if we wanted to publish this, we'd want to make sure that we, made any other changes to the documents here. So the README, for example, we'd want to change this to, schol template assignment, stuff like that. If you create something yourself, you'd want to add yourself as like a contributor or as the support person for that template. You'd want to, once it's published to NPM and to GitHub, so you want to publish this to NPM, publish this to GitHub. How to do that is beyond the scope of this demo, but you Google that stuff as well. It should be pretty straightforward. But yeah, once you're done that, you'd want to add it to the schol templates list, and that would make it available for other people to use and build on if they so chose. Right now there's only one default template, but it'd be nice to have more. And yeah, that's the gist of developing and editing templates. It should be pretty straightforward. Feel free to create a GitHub issue or even send me an email if you have any questions about it. I'd be happy to help. Thanks. Bye.